All right, everyone. We are live, and I've made 300 videos on YouTube. This is by far the most exciting video I've ever made. We are with Brandy, who has brought a massive amount of screenshots. Sorry, I'm too loud. There's probably an echo. A massive amount of screenshots showing, proving her story is real. This is one of, if not the most credible MedBed story I've ever heard in my entire life. And we have screenshots to prove a lot of what she's saying. Do we have a screenshot of an actual MedBed? No. If you came here for that, that's not going to happen. Or if you came here for evidence that we're going to sell MedBed tickets, or we know exactly what's going on, that's not what we're here for. This is an unconfirmed MedBed story, but none of them are confirmed. But of all the MedBed stories I've heard, this one seems like it has the most evidence. We have dozens and dozens of great screenshots showing that she was telling the truth this whole time. And miraculous healings, advanced technology, advanced beings, everything you would need, and screenshots, everything you need to like totally believe the MedBed story. That's what this live stream is about. We have 2 hours. I'm very, very excited. I was gonna just have Brandy do a quick summary of her story, and then I want us to jump into those screenshots because, oh my goodness, Brandy delivered the receipts. She's got proof, and I'm mind blown about it. So before we get into the screenshots, let's hear a little bit, Brandy, just to give us like a 1, 2, 3 minute summary of your story and why you feel this was MedBed.
Yeah. Hi, Peter. Yeah, I'm super excited to be here. I had many health issues, a couple of very rare genetic mutations. I became bedbound. I got into a research study, and then some very strange things started happening at my house. And I was healed. I believe that a lot of people, beings, whatever you, spiritual experience, I had it all. And so it was an amazing experience, and I knew I had to share the story, not only just to share the story because it's an amazing story, but also to spread hope about what's to come. And so that's why I'm out here doing what I'm doing. People can be brutal out there in the world, and so they have lots of opinions, but you know what, that doesn't matter. What matters is hope, and what matters is the fact that this story gets out there and can hopefully give people hope. So here we are.
Absolutely. And you know what? I just wanted off the bat appreciate Brandy for being brave enough to tell this story, because when you go out and start talking about the paranormal, it's quite risky and it can damage your reputation. And she's actually being very brave and taking a risk, telling her story, potentially, getting in trouble about it. So far, she seems to be just fine. But the point is, many cases when people come out about these paranormal experiences, they end up getting a lot more negativity than positivity, and everyone calls you crazy. But of all the paranormal stories I've heard, I've never seen one with hundreds of screenshots as evidence. So my goodness, my paranormal stories, I got nothing like evidence like Brent. So let's see and dive right into it.
Yeah, and let me also, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Let me also just start by saying, I think it's really important in these photos. Number one, it's great to zoom in, but number two, to also take note of what the patio, this is through my Ring camera on my patio as I was being healed. And so I think it's important. I was taking screenshots, so you can see the ring up there. You can see that it's a screenshot, but I think it's important to also notice kind of some things about the patio and how they look normally or in certain pictures, whereas opposed to in other pictures where things are showing up. And so I think that's an important factor as well.
Yeah. Quickly, can you briefly, I have a few questions about this camera. Are all of these photos taken with the exact same camera, and this camera's fixed in one spot?
Yes. Same photo, or same camera. Sorry.
It's because there was a lot of diversity. I'm seeing a lot of different things on here, and it's hard to believe all of it was from a single camera. That's incredible.
Yeah. So that picture right there, just going back to that one picture, that was like what kind of what at night, what the the patio look like,
Okay.
as opposed to, I mean, of course you're seeing orbs in this picture, but
Yeah.
and a light over here to the right on the
You see my cursor there?
yes.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but
You're talking
this
about
was
this
kind
light
of a
here or
basic,
this light?
that light, there's a light right there, sure, and there's some orbs, but this is kind of like what the patio looked like normally, um, what the light looked like normally. And so I just wanted to make note of that.
Yeah, of reference.
Yeah.
Just to get people excited, I have not been able to analyze all these photos. She sent me quite a mountain of them, but I've been able
Yeah.
to find 4 different types of beings, I guess you could say, that were visiting Brandy. One of them is these orbs, as you can see. She has
Mhm.
plenty of photos of these orbs. Now, there is a guy, I forget what his name is, but he's able to summon orbs at will. He's been featured on
Oh.
TV. He's been studied by the government. I forget what his name is. Orbs is a popular phenomenon. That's the one I experienced. I saw orbs before I was abducted as well.
Right.
And it is a common thing. The orb phenomenon is relatively new. I think it lasts like 30 years. People start seeing orbs. I'm trying to get, I'm new to this whole stream, so I'm trying to find the best pictures here. I want to ask you about, but I saw 4 different creatures here, and just viewer discretion is advised. Some of these can be quite scary. My 9-year-old daughter saw one of these, and she was a little unsettled by what she
Aw.
a little bit scary. But of the creatures that I saw in here, I saw little robots. I saw spheres. I
Mhm.
saw well, this weird looked like a tree alien monster, and then another monster.
Which is why I called
But
them the tree people.
the tree people, yes. Did you want to
Yes.
talk quickly while I look for these photos? Here's
Yeah.
another orb shot. I wish I could figure out how to just put this on there. I have a really good shot, and I'm just struggling to get it on the screen. So was there 4 types of beings that you saw, or was there more?
I wasn't counting, I'll be honest. At the time, I was
Okay.
just kind of going through it, and
Yeah.
I was capturing what I was seeing, and certainly I was seeing so many. For me, I think
Yeah.
it may have been more than 4. I was seeing very so many different things. And so many different, like at times it would look like right there in that little green light. I thought that was like some sort of little green ship, but this picture right here, which is really interesting.
Yeah, could you talk about this? What are we looking
if you can zoom in on this picture at all, I don't know if you can do that. So right behind this green light here,
this green light?
yeah, so right above that is a face, and it looks like they're wearing black sunglasses, right?
I see it. There's another photo, but even better. I'm trying to find the other one.
Yes, yes,
what is this? One of the tree aliens? What is this?
Yeah, well, I didn't call this a tree person or tree people, one of the tree people. I actually there's another photo which is very similar to this one, but what I figured out was this photo actually ended up looking like me. This was one of the hologram pictures that looked like me. Now, this one you can't tell very well because of the sunglasses, but initially when they first came, I would say within the first 24 hours, I did see this, and but without the sunglasses. And what it appeared to be doing was the lips were being removed and put back on. The eyes were being removed and put back in.
It was wait, this creature was taking its lips off, you said?
Yeah, but what I believe was it wasn't again, I'm at the time when I was going through this, I was not imagining this as a creature. I was imagining this because I did see me in this, and so I thought, what are they trying to show me? I did not at the time know what they were trying to show me. I do now know, or I believe what they were trying to show me was I was about to go through a transformation. And so they were kind of removing things from this being, and then I realized it was me. And so
interesting.
I believe what they were saying was you're about to go through a transformation, and that is exactly what I went through. And so this was in the very beginning, but also if you zoom in a little more, you can actually see underneath the green light, there's a whole lot of green with little robot beings, whatever they are.
These guys?
Yeah, the little guys all around there. That none of that was on my patio normally. And so, and that green light as well. The green light would change from green to white at times. And there are many pictures of kind of what I saw within that green light. But yeah,
yeah, sorry to interrupt.
That's all right.
I'm really excited. So if you're just joining right now, we're with Brandy, who I believe has one of the most credible MedBed stories in the world. Not because she had like a MedBed card she can show you, or like a video of a real MedBed. Not because of that, but because this story has advanced healing, it has advanced beams, it has potentially military operation, and it has advanced technology. These are all the elements of a real MedBed story, guys. This video, if it doesn't get millions of views, I'll be shocked. But this, and not only the most incredible thing, I can hear an echo in this. I'm sorry about the echo, guys. I'm just too excited. What's most incredible about this MedBed story is the fact that she had what seems like hundreds of photos. No, I don't know any other paranormal guy other than this guy who can record orbs because he can attract them on will. That has so much evidence to back up her story. I don't have this much evidence to back up my story. When paranormal phenomena were happening to me, I was always forgetful. Even though I literally bought a smartphone to record UFO videos, had it on me. It was like $1,000, and then when the UFO was flying over me, I was too excited to record. I forgot all about it. Brandy has incredible photos, and you might say these are fake. I will tell you for a fact, I've tried replicating these photos with AI or even anything close to it, and it's insanely difficult. And she has hundreds of them. If you watch her last live stream, Brandy is not a very techie person. She didn't even know how to send these photos originally. She's like, how do I send these photos? And we were like struggling a little bit to make all these photos with AI. We have to address the AI thing because I just don't think it's MedBed. This is a real MedBed story. First of all, everything Brandy's been saying feels authentic and true. She's been honest from the beginning, and she's got tons of proof to show it. And the only thing that could really debunk it is like if all these photos were like AI generated, and none of them look like that at all. They all look like authentic screenshots taken by someone who doesn't know. They just take the screenshots. Let me dive right into this photo because what did you see? I'm seeing a creature with sunglasses and big eyes. I think I see a big head. I'm not sure. It looks like he's sitting. Are there poles? It looks like he's grabbing onto them.
I wasn't really sure about grabbing onto the poles, but I did just notice this kind of being in between the poles. And of course, you saw the poles earlier in another photo, but which we'll probably revisit. But it doesn't normally look like that. Yeah, and going back to what you said, I wish I was tech savvy, and I'm a little tech savvy with, like, I can do websites, but I cannot do any kind of photo. I don't know how to do any of that. And so also, you know, on the last video, there were a lot of people, or not a lot of people, but there were a few people saying something about us being scammers. I would like to tell people, I don't think people realize what it takes to come out into the public with something like this. If I was lying, I would be slaughtered. And I'm not going to put myself in that situation, especially not after the amazing healing that I've had. I don't need all that. I don't need that in my life. And so I would never come out into the public if I did not really, truly believe what happened to me and who I believe was involved. Everybody has their own opinion, and that's fine. Whether it was alien, whether it was military, whether, you know, some people are like, oh, you had a spiritual experience. I don't know how you get photos. I did have a spiritual experience, but it was very separate of these beings and what was happening to me. So I just want people to understand that,
and
you know,
again, just to back up Brandy, I've tried to replicate these photos with AI, and you might say, well, the quality is low.
It is.
You're correct, but that actually authenticates it because it's so hard to create these low quality images like this with AI. I've tried. maybe in a few years they can do it. I can't get it done. I
Well,
could not
also,
fake these photos. They're not fakeable. And she has so many of them. A question about this pole. Is there something like peeking outside behind the pole? What are we looking at
yeah,
here?
it does
Is it
look like
this?
that, doesn't it? Yeah,
It
that's
does.
what
What
I
are we looking
saw.
at?
Well, if you go up that, there's a couple eyes. I mean, I was seeing these little guys with these little black eyes all the time. And
Wow.
this right to the right there of the pole, there's a
Yeah.
symbol. And I saw that symbol a couple
You
of
mean
different,
here or where?
nope, right above. If you zoom
Here?
in a little right there, right there. Yep,
Here?
zoom in on that yep. Do you
Uh-huh.
see it's like a circle, but it's got these, it's almost
Two
like
things. Yeah.
what I pictured, whether it's right or not, it was almost
Oh.
like the bottom of a spaceship is what it looked
Yeah,
like, but I've seen
I saw
it.
two photos
I
like
had
that.
seen it in several times that they showed up. And so I
Interesting.
don't know what that symbol is. I don't know what it means,
I
but
saw it in a few of your photos. I also saw that
yeah.
photo with a cross in it. Let's see if
Yes,
we
the
can just go.
medical cross.
Yeah, so just for people who are joining now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through the screenshots. Again, I apologize for the audio. I'm not a professional streamer. There's an echo. I apologize. I'm overly excited here. I try to keep my voice down. But we're gonna go through these videos. I'm gonna ask for questions because I can't contain my excitement. And then at the end, we're gonna hear her whole MedBed story from beginning to end. Audio is echoing, and this Dex. Thank you, and this. I'm so sorry about the audio echoing. It's because I'm overly excited. It's all my fault. I didn't realize we had so many questions. Last time we got one. Let me just answer the questions real quick, and then let's get back into these photos because I can't wait. If you use a real MedBed, did you have to sign an NDA?
Okay, this is a great question, and I would love to answer this.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
first of all, I believe that my doctors were under an NDA. They could not talk to me about this technology because I asked them about it so
Okay.
many times. And the way that they answered me, their aloofness, their dismissiveness about my question was very telling to me. And so again, people will say to me, well, you had to be under an NDA. If they're experimenting on me and they're not telling me what they're using on me, why would they have me sign an NDA? Okay, I think that's what people don't understand. It's not like I signed up for this and said, I'd like to be healed with whatever technology you have. And sure, I'll sign an NDA. That's not how it went down. I got into a research study and I believe that I was experimented on, like I told my doctor, with something that's not out yet. I told my doctor I believe it's Nikola Tesla technology because it was a frequency that rocked my world. And so the only thing that I could find in the world that had anything to do with frequency and healing was MedBed technology. And I do not think it's a coincidence that as I started searching for this technology, there were people out in the world that started talking about it. How did that happen at the same time? That is no coincidence.
Don't believe in coincidences.
Yeah, but ultimately, like, people always say that. They're like, oh, there's no way this is true. You would have been under an NDA. Not if you're
Right?
being experimented on. That it doesn't work that way. They try it
No.
on some people to see how, and by the way, I was a great candidate because I had a whole lot going on. So I was somebody great that they could try a whole lot of things on with the med bed because I had a lot to deal with. And so,
She was a
yeah,
good candidate.
I was a
I would
good
say Brandy
candidate.
was a prime candidate.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me know if you're watching this, if the sound is better. Part of the problem is me. This is my second stream in a while. Are you hearing echo from her? Are you hearing echo from me? I think I fixed it by lowering my volume. Let me know in the comment section if it's any better. Let me dive right into the photos because really exciting here. We see photos of these look like robots. Let's see if I can find a couple. One of them is here. Like a robot. I see quite a few of them. Brandy has her book called Chronically Ill No More. People don't write books like this unless they truly believe what they're saying. I mean, 99, there's like 1% of the people who are just lying, but 99% of people who make a movie or a documentary or a book, they're all in on this story. They're going to risk their reputation, everything, because they want to get it out. She has a picture of what she called a robot in the front of her book, Front of Ill No More. And I was like, look, I'm open-minded. Whether it's a robot, I'm not totally sure. Now that I've seen so many screenshots of the same freaking robots, I'm like, yeah, that's a robot. That's something. That's definitely a being. I'm not sure if it's organic or robotic, but don't tell me that is just I'm seeing things in the screenshots.
Yeah, and at the time and that was why I put that screenshot on as the cover, because it has some great it's a great picture. And it's got other things in the picture as well. That one right there.
Yeah, what is this one? Is this another creature behind the poles?
That's me. That's me.
This is you?
So remember earlier with the sunglasses, right? The picture with the sunglasses. That's how it started. It morphed into this. Okay. And if you zoom in on the head, okay, if you can do that, see all those little beings right there? But if you go higher, see all the medical crosses?
The medical crosses?
Yep. Do you see those medical crosses?
I see this one. Oh my gosh, look at that.
Right?
This one here?
Yep.
And this one here?
Yeah, and there's one to the right of, right there as well. But zoom out a little bit. Zoom out just a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, right there is my face. Right there's my face. That's the top of my head. If you go down, it looks like lips that are smushed together, but this was during so I'm seeing a video and I'm taking screenshots. This was during a time where they were showing me my lips being removed and put back on, as they were showing me kind of the transformation that I was about to go through. But yeah, that right there, which is a little bit scary, but what I was seeing at the time that was my face.
They were showing your face just floating like a projection.
Well, it was like connected. If you go down, it's like the rest of my body was attached, but you can't really see it because in front of it are all these little beings and that little ship right there. What I call the little ship.
This shit, and this is something you saw often. It was like a little orb.
Yeah, this right here, that white part it changed so many times, and also sometimes looked like there was a bed in it, which for me was confirmation that this was MedBed technology. But not everybody's gonna get that, but that was for me one reason why I believed it was MedBed technology.
That makes sense. Let me keep going into the photos here. Go ahead, Brandon.
Yeah, it's like they were sending me a lot of messages through what they were showing me outside my house. And so
now I've seen a lot of this thing.
Oh, is this, yeah. So that looks like a life preserver to me.
A life preserver? I thought,
yeah, if you zoom in, go back to that one and zoom in.
Yeah.
That to me, so this screenshot right here for me looked like it was either inside a ship or on the outside of a ship. And for me, that little round thing right there looks like a life preserver. If you zoom in a little more, for me, and I believe they were coming to save me, and so, or to help me, and so for me, that's what I thought that was.
That makes sense. Now this one is very interesting. Is this what I'm looking at? Is this the creature over here?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what that was, but there were many times that I saw things like that.
Wow.
And it's funny because you said something about your daughter being, there's the bed. What to me looked like the bed within the green light right there. But you said something.
Go ahead.
Sorry, you said something about your daughter being scared. For me, I was never scared of these beings or what was out there. For me, I believed either they were there to let me know that they were there, or that it was like my entertainment. I don't know, but I was never scared of them. If you go back to the previous photo and zoom in on that one.
Yeah, you said you saw like a spaceship with like a bed in it or something?
So this one, actually, I apologize. It's not the bed. Zoom out a little bit.
Okay.
It looks to me like there's a door, okay, within this green light. And it was almost like I thought they were, basically inviting me into like being healed. And so, but you can also see there's many little robot heads or whatever they are
Yeah,
around.
what are those? I think I see them more here. I see like a robot here, a robot here,
Mhm.
little robot people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. It was very,
wow.
it was, I saw
Just
a lot
another
of
one?
that. Yes.
There was a lot of little robots. So that was that the most common one you saw? A bunch of these
Yeah,
little robots?
definitely. The
Wow.
robots and also in the trees, it was like constantly people with black sunglasses on, which
Black
made me
sunglasses.
think of the Men in Black. And,
Oh my
I was
God.
like, are they trying to show me that, um, I don't know. At the time, I didn't really know what they were trying to show me with the black sunglasses, but I could only correlate it to what I had heard about Men in Black and that kind of thing.
Wow. So elephant in the room.
Mhm.
I need to ask a question that's on a lot of people's minds. I get you're not a
Yeah.
person, obviously. And again, for me, that proves your photos are legitimate because it's so hard. Look at this. This is obviously a screenshot that would be so element should have to nail get the screenshot made with
Yeah.
AI. This is a legitimate screenshot.
You can even see a
But
message from one of my friends right there that popped up in the
exactly.
picture.
Yeah. But this is the elephant room. A lot of people are wondering this question.
Yeah.
Since you were seeing all these paranormal phenomenon, why didn't you upgrade your camera, Brandy? We need HD 4K video of this stuff. Why didn't
Okay,
you upgrade
well,
your camera?
you know,
I had to
let's
ask.
all go back to the moment in time where this happened, where I was in bed. I
Okay.
was very sick.
Mm,
I couldn't get up on my own. Nobody in my life believed me that this was happening. Everybody was
sorry.
like, nobody would even look at the photos. I couldn't even get anybody to look at the photos.
Oh
And
my
so
God.
I was telling people, I'm
Uh,
seeing things outside the ring, I'm looking at the ring camera, and everybody would make jokes. Oh yeah, the mothership is coming to get you. And I mean, I went through uh a lot of scrutiny for things that I was saying during this time, which by the way, I understand,
that's
but
fine.
I just wanted people to look at the photos and say,
Yeah.
like, I knew what I was seeing, and I know now that you're seeing them, Peter. And so it's
Yeah.
nice to have other people actually see them. But,
Yeah. The thing is, I'm the perfect person, honestly. Like maybe this was God trying to make everything work out because I'm very into the paranormal, very into the paranormal. I've looked at a lot of photos and stuff like that. I also generate on a daily basis a few AI generated photos every single day for work, like thumbnails and stuff like that. So I know how to create fake images, and I also know how
right,
to authenticate old, low quality images. So I can both tell you that these images are legitimate for sure. There's too many of them for her to be able to fake all this. And then at the same time, I can tell you that I was not able to replicate anything close to this type of quality of image with AI. What are we seeing here? It looks
so
like
let
another
me
one of those
also
weird
look
shapes
at the little
and symbol.
frog
And is
guy.
this another green spaceship? What are we looking at?
Well, to me, I see a little frog guy right there,
Where right
holding.
here?
Yep, that's like, to me, it looked like a little frog head.
Huh.
And
Okay.
if
What's
you
this?
zoom in again, that white light that originally had a door, right? Same place, same placement. But instead now we have this little guy frog behind it. I don't know what he is, but that's what it reminded me of. Some people could correlate that to a conspiracy theory in the world, with the 17th letter of the alphabet, but I'll leave that there. Um, and then there's this light, where originally it looked like there was a door. Now it looks a little bit different. So again, these are changes made that, and there's all this other green. See the little green guy with the black eyes over to the left of the light?
Is that a creature right there?
Yeah.
Whoa. Oh my God. Is that a mantis?
Right.
What are we looking at
I
here?
don't know, but again, I am not the authority on what exactly I saw. I'm just showing you what I captured. I cannot say exactly what it was, But certainly it's something. It's something there. And on the right side too as well. There was, there's something going on. But all of this green, none of that green color was on my patio normally. So, and again, that white light changed from time to time, and sometimes it looked like, somebody laying there. Sometimes it looked like a bed. Sometimes it looked like a door. Sometimes it looked like the inside of a ship. So there were many different changes throughout and by the way, I have 30,000 screenshots. I took lots of doubles, and so I have, that's why I have so many screenshots. But
yeah, she sent me a ton.
Yeah, I sent you about 300, but it's hard to go through 30,000 screenshots and find the best ones. But
I get it.
There's that symbol again, and this is why I picked this picture, the screenshot for the cover of my book, because I don't know what that symbol is. But
so there's this symbol here. Is this a mantis on the left? Is that like a green?
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. Yeah.
Mantis.
But
we have this. Is this another creature over here?
I think that is some sort of a symbol or some. To me, it looked like this was on the inside of a ship or something, and so
weird.
I saw. Yeah, the robot.
Let me get this straight, Randy. This is a ring camera. This is a ring camera facing outside your doorway.
Yes.
And you're getting, this is a fixed ring camera.
Yes.
It has not moved. It's outside your doorway, and you're seeing orbs, robots, mantis, tree creatures, frog creatures.
Yes.
And you're being healed.
Yes.
And then you were telling, let's quickly jump into like two of the healing stories while I go through these photos more. What makes me believe this is MedBed is how immediate the healings were. Like, I'll just briefly say it, and I'd like you to get into a little bit. But one of your stories was how they were. Can you just tell us those two stories about how you feel like you were taken, and then the next day you were walking better, and also about your eyes, because those were incredible, and those are like the MedBed elements I wanted to get into. Can you briefly talk about that while I go through these?
Yeah, I was definitely taken up twice. One of the times I was taken up, it seemed like I was in some sort of a ship. It was a silver ship. It seemed to be. There's Batman. Anyway, and there were beings there, but I couldn't see them. They were very blurry. And a black snake showed up, and I immediately said, I'm petrified of snakes. And I said, I'm scared of snakes. And the snake bit me, and then I was dropped back into my bed, and I had to get up, hobble to the bathroom because I could still barely walk, and get sick. I got sick, and the next day was the first day that I could actually walk without the wheelchair. As far as my eyes, I had previously worn glasses, and I don't know that we've seen any of these photos, but across the street, on top of my neighbor's house, it was like they would show me me laying on my stomach, and so I would lay on my stomach because I'm assuming that's what they need me to do, and it felt like they were working on my back and things like that. And so at one point it showed me holding my eyes open, and so I held my eyes open, and it felt like they were doing laser surgery on my eyes. And then my eyes were great. I have not had to wear glasses since then.
Brandy, this is incredible. I'm trying not to yell and scream at the now, but this is one of the most incredible stories I've ever heard in my entire life. I'm not joking. This is crazy.
I know.
How has it taken so long for someone to cover this story? The low quality of these photos are the authenticity factor of the photos.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to be looking at these photos. So what are we looking at here?
So
that is great, Brandy.
This is a great photo. I love this.
This is MedBed material right here, through and through, because look at all these screenshots. If you don't want to believe this is a MedBed story, that's fine, but there's no doubt that she has tons of screenshots of paranormal activity, and she had miraculous healings, like from one moment to the next. The only
and I
technology I know
believe
that can do that is MedBed. Oh, there's, you know, I got LASIK eye surgery myself, so I know that
sure,
technology exists. But to
right,
do it, they had a special machine over my head. They had like to do LASIK. They did, it was very, very specific thing. There's no machine over your head when they did LASIK on your surgery.
right, right. And you know, I will say some of the photos you can tell I zoomed in on a certain part or I zoomed out, and so some of them are zoomed in and they're going to be a little bit more blurry, and I didn't think about that at the time because I was just trying to capture it. But this one right here is one of my favorites because, you know, for me, it was a nod to who was involved. Okay. If you know, I hate to say this, but if you know, you know that this for me was Batman. Make of that what you will, but for me, I absolutely, it was
What are
one
we
of the
looking at?
reasons I knew who was involved.
What is this light? Is this light from your patio?
That's my patio light, and so
And there's this
make
thing
note of
standing
that
there
patio
with
light.
ears.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, right in the center. No, first of all, there's no platform that any cat can sit on. That's up at my patio light. So it's not like an animal is up there sitting. That's not even possible. But
Gotcha.
you know, make note of what the light looks like, because there are other photos that show the light looking a little bit different with even a number in it.
Interesting. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show a really good photo.
Yeah.
I want this to be a great video. I have earphones. They're 5 minutes away. So I'm gonna do thank you, Bradley Barker. Appreciate it. For giving me feedback on the quality. I'm the reason for the echo. I just need to put headphones on. So Brandy's gonna take over the show for 5 minutes. I'm gonna put an interesting photo on. She's gonna talk
Okay.
about the photo. And
Yeah.
then you let me know when there's a good photo. Or do you just want
Yeah,
to
there's
talk?
one
Talk
that
for 5 minutes. I'm gonna get the headphone, and we're gonna fix the audio issue.
there's
But
a
which is this a
photo
good photo to
that's,
stop at?
yeah, there's a photo that's red. The patio light is red.
Is it
And
this one? I'm sorry, I'm colorblind.
oh, I think we had already passed it. Yeah, for sure.
So many photos of those robot things. That's
Yes.
crazy.
Right?
So many photos of those robots. So let me know when there's a good photo to stop, and then I'm gonna head out and get those headphones.
Yeah, when you see a red light, it's a red light.
It might take a while. Let's just find a good juicy one for now.
Okay.
I'll find it eventually.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of these are very similar, because there are a lot of the robots in them. By the way, the robots do match somebody else's robots in the world. I just want to make note of that as well. And that was another reason I knew that person, or I believe that person was involved.
I wonder if Elon Musk is working. That was a video I was gonna make about with Trump and all these secret technologies, because there's some wild stuff going on, and it seems like Elon's part of all this technology development.
Absolutely.
Let's see here. Is this a good photo stop? You want to expand this one?
I can. It's not showing all three. So I had these little three guys that would show up. I called them the little three guys.
Is it the robots?
No, they were what I imagined as three little baby ships that came together every day.
Baby ships. The three baby ships. Is that the three lights things I was saying?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, it's up here in the beginning. I know where it is. Let me find it.
So obviously I took some of these photos through Christmas where I had Christmas lights outside. I didn't put them up, but there were Christmas lights out there. Oh, wait. You know what? Stop right there. I'll tell this. This one. No, the next one. The red.
This one?
Yep. If you could zoom in a little.
Zoom in on this part here?
Nope. Nope. It's actually on the wall. Over on the right. Zoom out a little bit. Okay. That's a face right there.
Here?
Yeah, with the eyes and the nose and the mouth.
Interesting.
So
Now,
this
while
was
you explain this, I'm gonna quickly get my headphones out.
okay.
You got the stage. I'll be back in 1 minute to
Okay.
improve the audio problem.
Okay. All right. So as you can see, this is on my this was on my wall on the right of the patio. Um, hopefully I can't point to anything, but hopefully you can see the eye, and you can see part of the other eye at the top there, and then the nose, and just below the nose is the mouth smiling. Um, my first of all, my patio was not normally red. Some nights it would turn red, and some nights it would turn green. And this was one of the nights that it turned red. And for me, it looks like a face on my wall, but it never looked like that normally. So this was not a normal scene outside my on my patio. This was just one of the things for me that I believe that they were showing me to let me know that they were there. Um, and it was just something that I captured, but I absolutely love this photo because for me, I mean, I see it so clearly that there's a face there. And I think it's amazing. I think it's one of the most amazing photos. And not that it's some sort of being, or I don't believe that it's some sort of being. I believe that there were things placed in my line of sight to let me know that they were there and that they were, you know, I don't know. For me, it was a comfort. Every time I saw something like this, I knew they were there. I knew they were there to help me. And no matter, some people thought that it was, there were monsters, or like Peter was saying, his daughter thought that, it was a scary monster. For me, none of this was scary. This was all very comforting, as a matter of fact. And so, um, I did get a couple of different photos, I believe, of this face. I think even one time without the red, where the patio light was not red. I and just to also, I've had a couple of people ask me, did somebody change your patio light to red and green? Nobody changed my patio light. I honestly believe that the reason some nights it was red and some nights it was green was almost like they were giving me, like, okay, red light, we're not doing anything right now. And then when it would be a green light, they would do things, almost to let me know it was a go. And so, a lot of people like to guess that this is just alien. I personally believe that the military was involved and my doctors were involved, and there are many reasons why, but I think that with everything that I saw, if it were just alien, I don't believe that they would have shown me as much as what I saw. I think that I would have seen beings, I would have seen a ship, but I don't believe that they would have shown me things like this, like a face on my wall to let me know that they were there. So,
Yeah,
yeah, Peter.
I'm back. Let me know the audio's a little bit better.
Okay.
Do you hear an echo?
I don't, but I didn't to begin with, so maybe others
Okay.
could.
You guys let me know if the audio's better. I hear a small echo on my side. It might be me.
Do you see the face, Peter?
I
I wish I could
little
point.
bit. The
Okay,
eye
do you
here and this eye.
Yeah, so it's all the way down in the photo, like from the top to the bottom. So the eyes are at the top. There's a nose.
Here?
That's the eye, right? Zoom out.
Okay.
And then the nose, if you zoom out a little bit, yeah, you can see the nose. And then just below that, it looks like he's got a beard and also is smiling.
Yeah, it's a little hard for me to see it.
Is it? Yeah.
I upped the brightness, and I'm seeing a little bit better now. Is it brighter on your side as well?
No.
Okay, maybe my brightness is low. I'm seeing a little bit.
So that's the eye you just pointed to.
It's better, but it's still a little bit echoey. Gosh, dang, why is it echoing? Let's see here. Not sure why there's an echo. But
so this, oh yeah,
so let's go back.
Let me also just say, during Christmas time, when the lights were up, in a lot of the photos, it just looks like Christmas lights hanging. But on many occasions, it was like the lights were rearranged and they would show me things. So they would even use my Christmas lights to show me what they needed to show me. So
That's interesting. Sounds like they were using a lot of visuals.
Yes, they
What
were.
am I looking at here?
Yeah, this was just one of the pictures off to the right of my. If you zoom in a little bit, there's some interesting things going on there. I saw kind of different beings there, right in the center, underneath the piece of wood that's hanging out. Yeah, you can see a little being with sunglasses right below that. Just above.
Here or here?
Nope, go up to the left a little. Right
This?
under the piece of wood. Right there, you're on it. See you're on the sunglasses.
Oh my god. Wait, this
Do
is
you
a
see
face?
it? Yeah.
Oh, that's a bit creepy. I can actually see a face quite clearly, actually.
Yeah.
Is this an eye,
Yeah.
eye, nose, mouth?
Yep. Yeah. But to
Wow.
me, it's not scary. None of these things were scary to me. I was very comforted by the fact that they were there to help me.
What are we looking at here?
So this was just before the previous face that I saw on the wall. It was almost like it was being built right here on the wall. See the kind of long nose to the right here on kind of on the. So this is like a piece of wood right outside my patio. Oh, it's my wall, not piece of wood. It's my wall. And it does not normally look like there's a nose with eyes. It was like as the face was being made, this was kind of the precursor to that.
Gotcha. So Cheryl asked a very good question. Let me know. I'm doing some changes in the back. Let me know if the audio is a bit better. Cheryl says, "Can you give a little background on what we're looking at? What's the story?" And yes, still echoing. So can you just quickly do a quick summary of your story?
Well, the background as far as the pictures go is that as I was being healed, so the first night that this started, I had a loud knock on my door at 11 p.m. I was by myself. My dogs barked. They heard it. I had hobbled out to the kitchen, and I was literally right by the front door. And so the knock was very loud. It's 11 p.m. and I'm by myself. And so I did not answer the door. I didn't even go near the door because I was scared. I immediately hobbled back to my bed. I opened up my Ring camera. And initially, the first scene that I saw was a whole lot of SOSs, medical crosses, which you've seen in several of the photos. That's another picture of the face right there. But, there were, and so immediately I thought, okay, I really wasn't sure what to think, but I'm thinking SOSs, that typically means somebody's there to help you, but nothing really happened that night until it was the next day that I was actually hit with the frequency that rocked my world, and ended up healing me. But I had been looking out because I saw those the first night. I had been looking out my Ring camera all the time. I mean, I was kind of obsessed with it because I was seeing so much that
you're telling me that you were obsessed about looking at the Ring cam, maybe because you were seeing paranormal experiences left and right.
Yeah, I mean, I was with what I was seeing. Plus, I'm in bed. I can't hardly get up without a wheelchair, and so I had a whole lot of time on my hands, right? And so to see something like this when you're going through something like that, it was like, what am I seeing? And I got excited. I was like, what is this?
Exactly.
And so I just kept looking more and more and more and taking more and more screenshots.
Wow.
And which is why I have 30,000 screenshots. But
my goodness. What are we looking at here?
So if you zoom out on that, it's kind of hard to see up close like that. But if you zoom out a little bit, again, this is the picture of the face, but it is where I don't have a red light on my patio. There's no red light. It's just white light.
Is this a tree in front of me? What am I looking at?
No, that's actually my wall right outside
Oh,
on my patio.
interesting. Okay. Let's see if we can find, is this any better or?
Yeah. See, there's the face with red. And then in the last picture, it was without the red.
What is this face I'm looking at?
So
Is it
right there.
here?
Oh, okay. That's the nose.
This here?
That's the nose.
Is
Uh-huh.
the eye?
That's the eye.
Another eye?
Yep. Go down. That's the
And this
mouth.
the face?
Yep.
I'm very confused. I see the face clearly. Why is there a face on your wall?
Right. Well, I believe that, again, just like the tree people that I called them, excuse me. I believe that some of these things were just for them to let me know that they were there and almost for my entertainment is what I believe. I don't know if that's correct, but that's how I saw it.
Wow. I do definitely see an eye here, nose. It almost looks like with this line here, a cat.
But that's the side of a wall. So, you know, there's no cat there.
What are we looking at here, Brandy?
Okay, so this area right here, a lot of times was where they would show me laying on my stomach. But if you zoom in a little bit, okay, do you see, zoom out, right? Okay, to the left a little, just to the right of the pole there, there's what appears to be almost like a being looking up. I know this is going to be tough without me being able to point, but
is my cursor close to it, up or down?
Yeah, to the right. There's a whiteness right there.
Here?
Yeah, go over to the right a little more.
This one?
So this whole whiteness going down all the way down. And if you zoom in now, it looks like there's a being looking up at another being. Looking down at that. Do you know what I'm saying? There's one at the top right there in the white. That's white and he's got dark eyes.
Or is this?
I know this is so hard without me being able to do it, but
it's okay. Well, let's try another one because that one's
okay. Okay, this is one of my favorites. One of my favorites.
Okay. Let's go into this
Zoom in. Okay, earlier you saw my patio light, right?
It's always been the same color, right?
Yeah, it's normally, you know, just a normal patio light. First of all, I never, well, it's now right now here, it's red outside of it, but there's a number. Do you see the number?
On the light?
Yeah.
I see.
That's normally 2 round balls.
It's normally 2 round balls.
Uh-huh.
What am I looking at?
Okay, well, for me, it looked like the number 17.
Oh, I see it. 1, 7.
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
Again, if you go back to a conspiracy theory, for me, that was confirmation. I was also getting, I was also getting a whole lot of it. You know, that conspiracy theory, they talk about them saving children from tunnels. And out in the public eye, when I am on, you know, whether it's TikTok or Twitter or wherever, and people are talking about that, I always say it's not just children and it's not just tunnels. I believe they were also liberating people that were in situations they couldn't get out of.
Wow.
Oh, you cut out. What was that? Oh, your audio's cutting.
See if I can fix it. Can you hear me now?
A little bit. You're a little muffled.
I've been trying to change that audio here. How about now? Do you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Hopefully the echo is okay. It says echo's better now.
Good.
But I changed what I did. Let me know if the echo's any better, guys. And not her.
And I just also, as a side note, want to say, please excuse the fact I look very tired. I worked last night until 3 a.m. and probably got 3.5, 4 hours of sleep. So I've got bags under my eyes because I'm very tired.
I think I audio fix. Let me guys know.
Okay.
There's a few options here. Appreciate the feedback. I'm glad her echoes not there. What are we looking at right now?
So again, this was like across the street at my neighbor's house, on top of their house. If you zoom in a little bit, to me, it looked like there's a being on top of the house, right?
Here or on the left?
To the right of the pole.
Here?
Yeah, this is on top of my neighbor's house here. But this was also the same area again where they would show me. It was like a picture of me laying on my stomach or whatever they needed me to do. This was the area that I saw that in. And I didn't always get to capture that because a lot of times when they would show me lay on your stomach, I would immediately, instead of taking screenshots, I would lay on my stomach because I was trying to, help them accomplish what they needed to accomplish.
Yeah. Interesting because again, I don't know if there's echo in the when it echo myself. A lot of these experiences that people are reporting, I understand that people have doubts and like, is this true? But there's a channel on YouTube called The Wi-Fi, and
great show.
They talk about all these paranormal things that you would think are crazy. I'll give you an example. Me and my sister had an experience. We were 5 years old, going to bed, and we were in a bunk in a room, and this guy walks out of the closet with a black hat, and he turns over to me, and he says, "Beware." And he looks at my sister, and then he flies out the window.
Oh.
I thought it was a dream. But I asked my sister, she's like, "No, that actually happened."
Wow.
She heard it too. She saw it too. I thought it was just some crazy experience. The Wi-Fi did a show on the Black Hat Man.
Right.
This is not just me and my sister. This is a phenomenon. There's a lot of stuff going on here, paranormal stuff that we don't know what's going on. And Trump's going to declassify this stuff. I do know that one of the craziest stories in the Wi-Fi was, and this was very much recorded. This is a real event. This guy was being attacked by some type of demon or djinn that was able to scratch his neck, pass a storm over his head, and it was raining on. It's called the Rain Man story. You go on YouTube and put the Rain Man White Files. There's a whole episode about this guy who had a rainstorm wherever he went, right over his head for a certain period of time. And there was some type of demon causing this, and the demon would scratch him. This demon was invisible. There's a lot of paranormal stuff going on around the world that we don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is her echo cancellation off? I don't know. My echo cancellation is supposed to be on. Is it? Cheryl, is it any better? Hard to explain someone else. I picture the things that I hard to explain somebody else. I'm not sure what you're trying to say. So what I really like about this story from Brandy is that she has so many photos.
I wish I had gone through all 30,000, but honestly, right after I jumped out of there's another Batman. If you go back,
Batman.
Yep.
What does your patio look like with the Batman? Without the Batman, it's just a light, right? And with the Batman,
it's
you see this
two balls of a patio light. It's two balls.
And this is like a figure in front of it. It looks like a bat.
Well, it looks like, to me, for me, I always thought it was Batman. And not the real Batman, obviously, but I thought that it was them showing me who was involved.
Gotcha. Now this has an orb. I've seen some orbs, and these 3 lights. Is that?
Yeah, those are the 3 little guys, I called them. And if you zoom in on those 3 little guys.
Yeah.
They have
heads, UFO?
Yeah, it's like they had little faces on them. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes they were just lights, and then sometimes they would have little, like what appeared to me like little faces on them and things around them. And so, but these little 3 guys showed up. It was almost like as soon as I saw the 3 guys, I would know, okay, they're here. We're about to get started, or something's going to happen, or, you know, and so they were kind of the precursor a lot of nights as to tell me that things were about to take off.
Yeah, again, I apologize about the echo issues. I'm gonna fix it next time so I don't have that problem. Let's see here.
You guys, I seem to get an echo. I do. This better.
I'm not hearing an echo, but every now and then you're cutting out.
Yeah, I'll just talking. I have it. My audio better. Let's look at some more photos here because I have quite a few, and then I'd like you to get into your story.
So there's look at the light right there. That's what the light. If you go back, the patio light. That's what the patio light normally look like.
This is what it normally looks like.
Yeah, the two round balls, right? Round lights. So obviously the 17 that we saw earlier, the Batman looking, you don't see that there, right?
Interesting. Wow. And I see an orb here and the 3 lights again.
Yes. Wow. And the little white light, the little ship right there, what I believed, I called it the ship. Yeah. Right there was always kind of present.
So you have an orb here.
Yeah.
Bright light orb here. And 3 things here. Different orb there.
I don't think to me, those are not orbs. I consider them to be, I mean, they were very solid. They weren't, orbs for me usually are something you can see through almost. A little bit opaque, but you know, a lot of times there would even be things inside the orb. So when I would zoom in to the orb, I could see things sometimes that look like the inside of a ship or, you know, things like that. So there were definitely things within the orbs that I saw as well.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm trying to get to this tree creature photos. I'm trying to find them. They were super exciting. Let me see if I can show it on the screen here. Because there's a few creature-looking ones that I'm like, what is this creature?
Right.
Let's see if I can add it.
Excuse me.
Image file. Here. There we go. This is incredible.
Right.
You caught a creature on camera. Brandy, what is going on here? First of all, was this one of those pre-aliens?
Yes. I mean, there were many different types, but this was certainly one of them. You know, I would highly recommend kind of zooming in on different areas. I think there are also little beings around the actual being, but I think that yeah, yes. To answer your question, yes.
Yeah, I see Lay. Looks like he's running, walking. What did this look like to you?
Yeah, exactly that. I at the time, you know, I definitely saw some sort of a creature. I will say again, I was not scared, but I did see things like this all the time.
Interesting. And was it a green creature? Was it a tree creature? What are we looking at?
Yeah, for me, this was one of the. I think when I initially saw something like this, it was more of a green creature. It wasn't necessarily what I called one of the tree people. It was sometimes in the tree, but it was not the tree people that I called the tree people. For me, looked more like the men in black with black sunglasses. Certainly, there were what appeared to be some sort of beings in the trees, but for me, what I called the tree people were more what appeared to be. They almost look like cartoon people with black sunglasses on, is how I would describe them. But for me, those were the tree people. These were absolutely some sort of beings that I saw. But again, you know, and some people would say, well, if you saw something like this, wouldn't you think that this is evil or demonic or, you know, let me tell you that during this experience, I never felt anything evil. Everything was so amazingly, everything was good. Everything was good. The feelings that I had when they were there were good. The feelings that I got when I saw them were good. My experience with my spiritual experience and getting to meet God and having not believed in God for a long time, evil does not bring you to God. So when people question me about that, I'm like, no, this was not anything evil. This was absolutely something that showed me the most amazing God that I had never felt before in my entire life. So, on top of being healed. So yeah, that I also do see several in this picture, what I believe to be some of the robots as well around.
Is it the top left?
Yeah. And the bottom left. Yeah.
No. I'm going to do a lot less talking because there's an echo and I can't fix it.
Okay.
You
I'll try to talk
tell
more.
us the story, Brandy, from beginning to end. I'll try to fix my echo in the background.
Yeah. Well,
where your health problems were, what
right.
healed. Tell us the whole story from beginning to end. I won't interrupt you.
Okay. So I was very sick for many years. I had cancer, pulmonary embolisms. I had a very bad back. I had herniated discs, spinal stenosis, degenerative disc disease. I had 2 rare genetic mutations, one that caused my joints to dislocate very easily called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And then I had a secondary, very rare genetic mutation called oculodentodigital dysplasia, which caused a lot of damage in my body. But so I believe kind of ultimately the what all went bad was the fact that I had both of them, and then I also had damage to my body, and so I was dealing with a whole lot of pain. And I also had a full hysterectomy at the age of 32 because of cancer, and so I started growing scar tissue and adhesions, they called them. I overgrew adhesions, so even surgeons that I think I had 4 abdominal surgeries just to remove adhesions. And they kept saying to me, "Oh, your adhesions are like you're a super grower. We've never seen anything like this before. Your adhesions are actually breaking the tools that we would normally use to cut them." And so they told me, "We will not do back surgery. You need back surgery, but we will not do back surgery on you because of this issue. Because if you get or adhesions in your back, you're screwed." And I'm thinking, well, I felt already screwed, but anyway, so that's why I was basically unfixable, which I think made me a good candidate for this technology, because when you're unfixable, it's like, well, let's try, this great technology on somebody that can't be fixed. So, and progressively I got worse and worse and worse. I ended up not being able to walk without a wheelchair, became bedbound. Initially, when this healing started taking place, most of the healing happened in the beginning. I would say in the first 3 months, but I mean, I believed I was very close to death. I did not think I was going to make it out of that bed. And I was in bed for 2 years. And most people are like, well, how were you in bed for 2 years when most of the healing happened in the beginning? I think there was a whole lot that they had to work on. And it wasn't just me being able to walk, it was a whole lot of things. But, and so I have not had any sort of my joints would dislocate easily, including my spine, which caused my herniated discs to happen very easily in my neck and my lower back, especially. One of the things that happened during this healing was my shoulder had been dislocated for about a month. I couldn't wash my own hair. And they showed up one day and out there and I did not get this, but I promise you this happened. It said in my front yard there in my Ring camera, it said, "It's raise your arm day." I hadn't been able to raise my arm in a month, and I could feel them working on my shoulder. And the next day I was able to wash my own hair. My shoulder was back, not dislocated. It was popped back in, and it has not dislocated since. So,
Incredible.
I, also one of my other favorite parts of the story was that when they were working on my joints, I saw what appeared to be one of the most beautiful paintings out my front. Again, I'm capturing it through my Ring camera. And at the bottom of the picture or artwork, it had a signature. And I could read the name. And so I looked it up. And sure enough, it was an orthopedic surgeon in Phoenix. I'm in Tucson. And so I called them. And this was during COVID. So a lot of doctors were not in the office. But I left a message and I said, "This is my name. I would like to talk to you about my case." And they never called me back. And that never happens. That never happens. Also, the day after the frequency hit me, the neurologist up in Phoenix that I had gotten through the research study called me and said, "How did your back feel?" And he was very like, I was like, "I don't have an appointment with you. Why are you calling me?" And he was very forceful about his question. He was like, "How did your back feel?" And I knew at that point he knew. And so I said, "Do you know about the frequency?" And he would not answer that question. I asked him 3 times. And so I believe that all my doctors knew. I was seeing a psychiatrist at the time for PTSD, anxiety, depression. And right after I met God and my spiritual part of this experience, all that was gone. And so I started titrating all of my medication down at the same time. And I got off everything, all of my medicine, fentanyl patch, hydromorphone. I mean, so much medication. Within a month, I was off of everything. So.
Wow. Let's pause for 1 second. Do you have headphones?
I do not.
Any type of earphones, headphones?
No, I don't.
Okay. It says the audio might be a problem on your side. Is there any option to click cancellation on front of your screen?
I'm sorry, to do.
There might be an option to click echo cancellation. It's not. Could you turn on the volume on your tablet?
Sure. Is that better?
I don't know. You guys let me know. And I do
Should
notice
I say
the echo is better on my ear.
Okay, I think I also got really loud just then because I get a little passionate about this story.
And so I think what's happening is that my voice comes out of your speaker and picked up by your microphone. So
I did have my microphone all the way up. It may have been my issue all along.
If you can lower, I think we found the issue. If you can lower the speaker low as you can while still being able to hear me, that would fix the audio for now. And next time, we need to get earphones or headphones for you.
Yeah, I lowered it about halfway.
Okay.
Is that better?
They're saying it's better. So continue your story.
Yay. Sorry. Obviously we're not super high tech here.
Continue your story. Continue your story. I want to hear more of it.
Yeah. So, I actually went through a divorce. I moved out of state. I was scared to move out of state, I will tell you, because I was afraid. Because even as much as I felt healed, I still felt like I needed a little bit of healing. I still felt some pain in my back. So I was like, this whole time, this 2 years, I was having this frequency hit me. And I will tell you, even though it hurt in the beginning, in the places that I hurt, it definitely hurt. But as time went on, it was very soothing. It was very, it just felt good. And so I didn't really want to be anywhere else. Like I wanted to it's like almost like you were bathing in it. And it was just an amazing feeling. And so I was a little afraid to leave my bed because I thought, gosh, what if they're shooting it at my bed and I'm going to move out of state and they're not going to find me. And so I did worry about that, but I also needed to do what I needed to do. And so I went through a divorce, moved to a different state. By the way, they had given me a nurse that I could text at any time. when does that happen? Never. Through the research study and also through my doctor's office, they had given me initially this, they put me on chronic care, and they had given me this nurse. And right after I had started walking, and I hadn't told anybody because it happened very quickly, she texted me and she said, I just want you to know I'm leaving and I'm passing you on to the next, what I believe the next level nurse, which would have been like, not the chronicest of care, but kind of the next level nurse. And she said, but I want you to know something. She said, I want you to know that your story will carry me throughout my career. And I thought, how did she know? How did she know that I'm better? I didn't tell them. I only kind of messaged them when I needed something, that was going wrong. And so I really hadn't even reached out and said, hey, I'm walking again. I hadn't done that. And so it was again, it was a confirmation to me that they knew what was going on. I don't know exactly how they knew, if they were watching me through my phone or however it was being done, but I definitely knew that they knew.
So I'm showing on screen your book. Would you join me next week, Brandy, when we got the audio issues fixed?
Possibly the week after. Next week, I actually work on Sunday.
What about Saturday?
Yeah, we could do Saturday. Yeah.
Saturday
the last
next week?
time
Would
the last
live
time
stream
we
without
did
audio
Sunday,
issues?
sorry, the last time I did Sunday, I had to get somebody to cover my shift, and they're not going to do that again. I mean,
Got
as
it.
much as I
Saturday works
appreciate
for
her,
me.
she's an amazing person, but yeah, she wants a day off. So
That's fine. So do you think we can do next Saturday? We'll have the audio issues fixed because this is a great story. I'm ruining with my voice.
yeah, Saturday is great.
Perfect. Next Saturday, guys, we're gonna read the stream better than ever, and this time my voice will be better. Anyway, continue your story. Continue. And this is where, if you want to hear, this is her, but you want to talk about your book real quick and continue your story.
Yeah, I mean, when I moved away out of state, I decided that this story needed to be told for many different reasons. Again, like I said earlier, it's a great story. It's not a story, it's the truth. And so, um, I decided to write the book, and I had all these photos. And of course, having photos in your book and you can't point out what's in the photos. And so that was the biggest thing that I got back from people that got the book. I mean, I want to also note that during the time that I was going through this healing, I had a child in the military. He got deployed twice. I was petrified of what could happen to him. My heart goes out to all military parents because it's something that you're not prepared for when you enter it. I was super proud of him. And I will always forever be grateful to all of our military. But during that time, I didn't know what was going to happen to him. And so I wrote some poetry, which is in the book. I wrote some political poetry. Some of it's political. Yeah, most of it's political. But, ultimately, I hope people, and I said in the book that it doesn't matter what side you're on. I hope that you're able to appreciate what I was going through as a military mom, feeling very much out of control for the life of my child. And that's why I wrote the poetry. And so that's included in the book. I will say, oh, thank you, Rosalie. I will say that I did share one of the poems, which is called Our Military Moms, with our president on X. And he did follow me after I shared that poem with him. And he wished me a happy birthday.
Who was this?
Which I found really interesting because, he did a story about meeting a child with a genetic issue where he wished them happy birthday. And for me, that was very much a nod to me that he was involved.
Who was this? Who is this you're talking about?
Trump. So he has we all know. Well, sorry, we don't all know. I'm not going to assume everyone knows. I have been following things very closely about what he says. He has a burner account on X called Il Donaldo Trumpo. And so some of us know that that's him and some don't, but those of us that know. And that is the account that followed me and wished me happy birthday.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Hold on. Il Donaldo followed you?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yep. And he wished me happy birthday.
Stop it. Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. I wish I could show you my screen to show you he follows me.
Jeez, you need to get a screenshot out. We can show that next time. That's wild
I know.
stuff. Yes, El Donaldo Trumpo is an unverified but definitely confirmed Trump account.
We know. And again, I knew from the beginning. I don't know how I knew, but there were many reasons why I knew, but also the connection to Nikola Tesla, his uncle, and the connection to Nikola Tesla. I knew that existed, and I knew that I was being healed with what I believed was Nikola Tesla technology. And so that connection for me was huge. And the robot on my patio showed me that I believed that Elon was involved. So back when this happened, this started March of 2020, this healing, I was telling everybody, Trump and Elon, they're working together. And everybody kept saying, you're crazy. They're not working together. And sure enough, a couple years later, I think it took at least, and it came out. And boy, I was like, I knew that. But, and then, so I actually sent my book to both of them. I signed the book to Trump. I said, I would really like to make a movie about this story because I think it is one of the most amazing stories of our time. I mean, there are some great stories out there, don't get me wrong, but for me, I feel that this is an amazing story. And I think it was like 4 or 5 days later, he came out on X and said, well, I guess we're making a movie, or I guess we're movie makers. And I was like, please be talking about me. But and then Elon, when I got notification that he got my book, it was about 5 days later. He came out on X and said, we implanted a Neuralink into a human with a robot. And immediately I was like, oh, you mean like the robot on my patio? And so for me, again, that was a nod to say, I got your book. And for him to even come out and say that kind of in that time frame, for me, was really amazing. And I will say that the reason that I think that that's important is what I went through during this healing is a lot of the things that they talk about with the Neuralink. Excuse me, sorry. I was seeing things, spiritually, there were things that were happening that I could not explain, things that I was seeing. So, sorry, I'm recuperating from a cold, so I'm gonna pop a cough drop. But there were things that I was just, it was almost like, and I hate to even say this because a lot of people get very judgy about this, but I will tell you that I did have a lot of what I consider to be telepathic. I've always been empathic. I've always been able to kind of read people's energies very well. I know when somebody's lying to me in a heartbeat, most of the time, if I'm kind of tapped into that. But I genuinely, like, during that time, I knew things that I couldn't explain how I knew. And things about Nikola Tesla, things about, just, I filled up 3 notepads of information that was coming out of me, and I didn't know where it was coming from. And so, as far as whether or not, I can't prove that they put a Neuralink in me, but I think the Neuralink also helps people walk that are, they have issues walking. They may be paralyzed. But also, like, it was like I could, excuse me, communicate with my devices without touching them. So
when people do get taken, usually they get like shipped and stuff like that. If it's okay with you, I wanted to go through a few more of these photos. Can you tell us what we're looking at in this photo over here?
Okay, so it's so hard without being able to zoom in at what I was seeing. But again, this is across the street on my neighbors. I'm like, I wonder if my neighbor's ever going to see these videos and be like, that's my house. But
what about this one?
Yeah, that was during Christmas time.
Are these three
and
lights?
Those three lights. Yeah, those three lights are the three little guys, but they would come in different areas of my yard. So that was in a different area that they showed up.
Is this them again?
Yep. And sometimes it almost looked like the three lights were connected and they were a little ship, but not always.
What are we looking at here?
Yeah. So the green, the green being there. I don't.
What is this?
Yeah. I saw a green being. That's what I saw. I can't tell you exactly what it is, but.
And what about
By the way, somebody that saw this picture asked me if we had snow. I live in Tucson, Arizona. It almost never snows here. That was not snow. For me, it looked like some type of, like that was the eye, one of the eyes.
Here?
Right there. And it was very big. But it also, to me, at the time, looked almost like there were several beings. If you go over to the left a little, right there, there's a face right in the center. Nope, over to the left a little. Right there. Right there. Right there. See the face?
Eyes. Is it eyes?
Yep.
Interesting. What about here? What are we looking at?
Yeah, again, there would be these like almost what appeared to be blobs of green that were not on my patio or in my yard normally. And also, if you zoom in right next to the pole, there's a little green. Yeah, right there. Yeah, none of that was on my patio normally. And by the way, I just saw a video recently on TikTok where somebody captured some sort of UAP in their yard, and it was amazing. But what was interesting to me about that video was I saw little bits of green that were almost coming off of the light or coming off of the UAP, almost like a shadow. And it was the exact same color of green that I was seeing in all of my experiences. So this was actually my back patio.
So it's a different camera?
Yeah, this was actually the second night that I felt like they came to get me.
Okay. What are we looking at?
Out of my situation. These were plants that were in my, these are plants. But if you zoom in to that right there, that looks like a face over to the right. Some people may not see it. My plants did not normally look like that, I will just say.
This part?
But the night that this happened, the reason that I took a picture back here, I had been on the back patio. A plant got knocked over. That plant right there had knocked over kind of on the ground, the one on the ground. It got knocked over and something happened where something got pulled across my patio and I ran inside. I was scared. I didn't run. Sorry. I couldn't run at the time, but I did go inside. And I'm looking out my back patio and I went back out. I put the plant back up and then I went inside and looked out my Ring camera. And I do believe that, in my mind, I believe that was another time that they tried to get me out of there.
Interesting. But something was, a pot was knocked off.
Yeah. And nobody touched it. We had 3 dogs, but none of the dogs were around that area, so that none of them touched it. It was just very weird.
That is. Let's see if we can go through a few more photos. Batman.
Mm-hmm.
This is crazy how you have an orb, 3 lights, and another one. Orb, 3 lights, and a green light.
Yeah.
3 paranormal phenomena. What are we looking at here?
So this was in my yard, in the front yard. This is what the yard looked like during the day. But that pile right there, kind of, yeah, if you zoom in, again, I would just like see things within, it's like these things would show up and I wouldn't know. This was nothing that was out in my yard.
This is not normally part of your yard?
No.
What?
Yeah. And it
looks
looked
like
almost to me like there was a little doorway going into, yeah. I mean, yeah.
this.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. You've seen more paranormal experience with your Ring camera probably than any person in the world, Brandy.
Yeah, it was amazing, honestly.
Here's more orbs
There's
and the
lots
3
of
green
orbs.
lights.
Yeah.
You've been visited, Brandy. That's confirmed.
Yeah, I definitely was, for sure.
By
Visited,
new
healed.
beings.
And if you zoom in on,
Healed.
go back to that, or even that one, but if you zoom on any of these photos, it's tough to see. I don't know about this one, but go back. Yeah, this one. There's a whole lot going on in this photo that you can't see unless you zoom in. I mean, they're everywhere. Do you see it? Now you can see them. You're starting to see them. Yeah, they were everywhere.
Are these the robots?
Mm-hmm. Little robots, little faces. Zoom in a little more. Yeah. They were just everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
Orb.
Mm-hmm.
3 lights orb again.
Yeah.
What are we looking at here?
Lots of orbs. This was just like a kind of a scene outside my house. I don't know that there were any. Well, there are beings. If you zoom in, there's, of course, they're all over, but they're definitely in the tree.
In the trees. See if I can find more. Here's the 3 light.
Mm-hmm.
What was the most common thing that visited you? Was it the 3 green lights, the robots? What's this?
Yeah, this was one of the what I thought to be some sort of a ship that showed up, and it was just like a really bright light. It was right in the area where the little 3 guys would always show up.
Incredible. Here it is another again.
Mm-hmm.
So you said the most common creature was what? It was the robots?
Definitely the robots, but also what I call the tree people. I mean, I have, again, I have so many photos, but I don't have time to go through them. That's part of the problem. But I have 30,000 screenshots. And so at some point before I started bartending, I went through a lot of my photos. And I pulled out these that I had sent to you. But there's so many more. There's so many more.
Yeah,
This pic is great. Oh, that pic is great.
Yeah, let's go back to this.
Oh, wait. Zoom into this one right here. This is a great pic. You see the guy right there?
Him?
See the eye?
Him?
Yep, that's the eye, the nose, the mouth.
What, is it the robot?
It looks like he's wearing a black hat. He almost looks like a skeleton guy. Right? Or like, okay, so put your cursor. There's the eye.
Yeah.
Go down a little bit to the left in the black area. Right there, that's his nose. Go down. That's his mouth.
Oh.
Do you see it?
I do now.
You do now, huh? I had to point it out though, right?
See the skeleton face now.
Yep, and it looks like he's wearing a black top hat. Right?
Crazy.
And if you go down and zoom in on the light down there, the green light.
There's that light again.
Because again, it always looked a little bit different, right? Before it looked almost like, you know, sometimes it looked like a doorway. Sometimes, I mean, it just changed. Sometimes it looked like it had a literal bed on the light. Yeah, zoom into the light there. So again, I believe the little frog guy, I called him, was right behind there at the top of that light. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this was kind of a scene that, for me, I thought it looked like the inside of a ship, of some sort of a ship, but because it was like the pole was somehow integrated into some of this stuff, but I don't know, maybe they were using holograms. Okay, so zoom in on that orb right there. See all the stuff around the orb, inside the orb.
Tell me.
Yeah, just around the outside of the orb on this one. But inside the orb, it almost looks like, again, for me at the time, I thought it looked like the inside of some sort of a ship.
It's like a little person inside. What are we seeing around?
Yeah. And right, if you zoom out a little bit, there's a bunch of them right above the orb as well.
These guys.
Yeah, all of that. None of that was normally there.
Are they on the ceiling?
Yeah, they're on the under part of the patio, you know,
How big are these robots?
Yeah.
How big are they? Like 6 inches, 6 feet? How big are these robots?
I mean, in this picture, they're not very big because they're literally right on the rafters underneath my patio.
Different size robots?
What's that?
Were there different size robots, big ones, small ones?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Wow. What are we looking at here?
So again, that's what I believe to be me with sunglasses on, or a being that turned into me. I don't know, but that was the scene that I saw right before the eyes were pulled off and put back in, and they were showing me that I was about to go through a transformation.
What is this here? Just then that same light that would keep coming?
Mm-hmm. This was another one of the lights that would show up that I thought looked like a ship.
And here's
there's that. Mm-hmm.
Right there. What is that here?
Yeah, so this was like the three guys, but the little one of them was off to the left. Which was odd because they were almost always together, and so sometimes to see like
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Yeah, zoom into that one.
Okay.
Oh,
there's the creature when I see him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, did we show this one earlier?
I think
Again, it's like inside that light is different than it would be at different times.
And this is eyes and a nose.
Yeah, for sure.
Crazy. So we saw orb, mantis things, frogs, tree creatures, walking creatures.
Right.
Different types of orb. Sounds like at least half a dozen different entities have been visiting your house, Randy.
Yeah. I personally love the frogs, but
when was the last paranormal experience? Do you still capture this stuff?
No.
When did it stop?
This stopped, so the actual footage that I caught stopped I mean, it was like when the most, how do I put this? The most severe part of the healing was done, they were gone.
Wow.
The frequency was still there, and it followed me to the next state that I went to.
Wow.
After I let my doctor, my nurse that I could text at any time know, I'm still in pain in my back. I just went through a move across states by myself, with my dog towing my car, and I'm in pain. That weekend, the frequency started where I moved to, but I
Gotcha.
I didn't have a Ring camera. And so I couldn't even see if it was out there, anything was out there. But so this was initially during the like first initial stages of my healing.
Brandy, first of all, audience, I'm sorry about the audio. This story is so interesting. So next Saturday, we're going to do another live stream, hopefully 2 hours. Audio would be better. I feel like I need to hear this story more and hear more details because it's so interesting. And I still have a lot of questions.
Yeah, I would love to. My goal is, some people think that I'm out here to scam people and make money. I make very little money from the book. I think I sold 3 books the other day and I made $9 or something. It's not a lot, right?
Yeah.
And excuse me. And so, but my purpose is to get the story out there. I think I do have great evidence with the photos. So I'd love to go on the Y Files, go talk to Joe Rogan. Absolutely. That's my goal, is to really get it on a big stage, and also make a movie. I'd love to make a movie about this. But ultimately,
I agree. This movie worthy.
Yeah, ultimately I'm not out here it's not about money. It's about the message. There are many messages within this story, if you read my book. And I hope that people that do read my book, I have had some people that have said some wonderful things to me about my book, and how, they didn't know kind of my backstory and the trauma I had gone through, and just a lot of that, and kind of having the resilience to kind of get through life, even starting off with trauma, and how I dealt with that, even through my healing, and what I needed to do to make that happen, to release my trauma. But also, there's a whole lot more in that book for me that, I believe is an amazing story. And so that's why I'm out there. I want people to know that I believe that this technology is coming, and it's going to heal a whole lot of people.
I agree. I believe it's real. If all these paranormal beings exist, one of them's got MedBeds. That's the way I look at it.
Right.
Can you talk about this photo a little bit more? I love this photo. No, go ahead, Brandy.
Really quick, I just wanted to answer. Yeah, I just wanted to answer Cheryl, because I saw her question.
Please do.
Hi Cheryl, and thank you for being here. So as far as how did they come to me, I believe through the research study, because I do believe that it had a military aspect to it. Maybe the military is working with aliens. Maybe the military made me believe they were, or tried to make me believe they were aliens. I don't know what the answer to that is. But I do believe that they were coming to liberate me. I believe that they were coming to heal me. And I was literally healed in every which way, spiritually, physically, emotionally, always. So
could we quickly, could you mention everything that was healed over this period of time? We had 5 herniated discs. The joint things. Could you all that? Because these are a lot of things to do in a period of time.
Yeah, degenerative disc disease, spinal stenosis, needed back surgery,
eyes.
My eyes. I don't have any issues with adhesions since then, because I was having a lot of pain in my abdomen from adhesions as well. Joints that would dislocate, my hips, knee, shoulder, all of that is gone. So
wow.
I do now have to wear kinesiology tape when I bartend. But I am 52 years old. I'm bartending after being in bed and being sick for most of my adult life. People have asked me, why are you bartending at 52 years old? And I'm like, because I can. Because I went for a very long time not being able to do much of anything. And so I kind of wanted to prove to myself that I could do it. The opportunity came up through a friend. And so I decided to do it. And I'm happy that I have.
That is great. I would say I did this. I've been trying to heal one for 4 years.
Yeah.
You healed 5 of them.
It's painful. It's painful.
I'm in pain right now from a herniated disc. It's quite difficult to heal, and it is quite painful, debilitating.
Right.
You had 5, and then in what period of time do you think it took to heal those 5? Was like an overnight thing or a few months? How did that work?
No, it was not overnight. And I think a lot of people that talk about med beds, they're like, oh, it's an instant. And for me, maybe it depends on how much damage you have in your body, what they need to heal. I think there's for anybody to come out and just say, oh, it's just immediate is ridiculous to me. Also, I would like to add that initially when I first went through this healing and I started looking online for people that knew anything about what I was going through or knew what this technology was, I did find some people out there talking about med beds that I followed because I believed that that's what it was, and I still believe that that's what it is. But some of those people came out and said, "Oh, if anybody is claiming to be healed with this technology, they're lying." And I thought, well, if you have an inside contact that you can contact, and you're not able to contact them and verify my story, I stopped following them. I stopped watching them. Maybe they do have information, but for me, I know my story's real. I know what happened to me. And I think anybody putting out there that people are lying when they don't know the story, they don't know the situation. Yeah. And again, if they have any insider information with aliens or insider government information, they should be able to verify my story, but they didn't. And they just came out and said, oh, they're lying. Don't listen to them. Well, for me, that was for me, I stopped listening to those people because, I know what happened to me. I know I went from bedbound to bartending, and I'm no longer in pain. I'm no longer on medicine. I no longer have anxiety, depression, PTSD. All of that is gone. And I believe in God. That where before this whole experience, I did not. So I think if you encompass all of those things, it's pretty amazing.
It's pretty amazing. Again, there are 100% confirmed MedBed stories.
Mm-hmm.
I would say yours is probably the most believable one I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah, I haven't found anybody that has had any kind of experience similar.
And you have mountains of screenshots.
Yeah.
No one else has this. So anyone who thinks, if you're doubting Brandy for a second, she has so many screenshots we couldn't even go through them today. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. She says thousands. I'd like to keep digging through them. Yeah. We need to go through these. We need to make some more live shows because this may be one of the most interesting paranormal experiences, stories I've ever heard in my entire life. And
thank you.
2 live streams is not enough. We need to do 3, 4 until we get to the bottom of this. That's how I feel.
Right.
Do you guys have any questions? There's 41 people watching. That's a lot of people right now. Does anyone have any questions they want to ask Brandy? I'm going to go through a few more photos here. She's going to be here for about 10 more minutes. And this stream is going to be the last chance to ask questions. And I'll stop talking.
I'm happy to answer any questions. I wish I knew how you could contact them. People have asked me that. How do I get into a med bed? Oh, look, that's a medical cross right there.
Oh, is that what it is?
Mm-hmm. That's what I thought it was. You know, I do believe that once this technology comes out, everybody's going to have access to it. It's not fast enough for any of us, especially not me, because the quicker the technology comes out, the quicker I'm believed, you know? And so I want everybody to be healed like I was. I want everyone to go through what I went through.
Yeah, I'm sorry about the echo in my voice, but I do want to point out what Brandy said. Me and Brandy are helping with disclosure. After disclosure, which Trump is doing right now, of all this paranormal stuff, that's when the technology gets released. So what me and Brandy are doing is I've had paranormal experiences. I'm sharing them. She's had paranormal she's experiencing. As we disclose these pieces of puzzles or experiences, it accelerates disclosure, which accelerates everyone's access to advanced technologies and MedBeds. So I'm gonna stop talking now. I just want to say we're trying very hard to accelerate disclosure so this technology comes out. And these videos help that. So share this video, get it out. The more we're aware, the more we can handle, the faster the technology comes out. That's the way I like it.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. And it's not easy to be somebody that comes out. Oh, zoom in on that photo. It's a great one. Oh, did we show this one with the frog? Yeah. But again, it looks different in different times. Sometimes the frog was there and it still looked different. So I wasn't sure if we had showed that, but.
I'm a little bit confused because I see the symbol everywhere, and sometimes it's a ship, sometimes it's a frog. Did it always look different? So here, you're calling it a frog.
Yeah, it looked different all the time.
It looked like a cross.
Yeah.
These different things, and they just look similar, or they just like this.
Yeah, there's that symbol. Mm-hmm.
Is it the same thing as this thing?
Different symbol. This to me was a medical cross. The other one was some round symbol.
Interesting. Did you see it? Yep, you got more photos for the.
Yeah, it's so hard without me being able to point things out. But
what's going on here?
Yeah, that was during the time that they showed me that if you zoom in, that you can see, I feel like you can see a little bit more my face, and or I can anyway. Maybe you can't, but yeah, that was my face.
And this was at Orb.
You're kind of cutting out.
Sorry, this was at Orb that kept showing up. The big one, like.
Yeah.
What are we looking at here?
Those were two of the little three guys.
Gotcha. We got a question here from Rosa.
So my healing started in March of 2020. And the initial healing, like the chronic healing that I think handled most of my chronic issues, happened within the first 3 months or so. But the frequency continued for 2 years. Well, I was up and down. I was still in bed, but I was like up and down. You know, I started physical therapy, things like that. But then even after that 2 years, when I moved, the frequency was hitting me. Not this level of healing, but the frequency was still there. So for me, I felt that they were still dealing with some things, and my pain kept getting better and better and better. So.
Wow. I mean, no one expects MedBed to live forever.
Right.
But you did experience a lot of rapid healing in a short period of time.
Yeah. But I think that people also believe that MedBeds are going to heal you and you're good forever. I don't believe that. Because even now, after this healing, I still have some things that I'm like, gosh, I wish they'd come back and take care of this, because I think that they focused on the things that, oh, yay, thank you. I think that they focused on some of the things that I had spoken to my doctor about. They were, every time I went to my doctor's office, like you do at any pain management appointment, you're circling on your body where you're in pain, right? But what I didn't realize at the time was I was circling the worst of the worst. I wish that I had circled everything that hurt, because I believe that the healing would have encompassed all of that. But I think that because I was like, well, it hurts here really bad, that's what they focused on. I'm not saying that I have severe pain anywhere else, but I'm just saying I have other issues that are, I mean, I'm working bartending and still dealing with them, but I'd love my knee to be completely fixed again because, um, not because of anything they didn't do, but because since then I fell down my stairs and hurt my knee. And so, I also recently uh fell and broke my back. And so I have a broken back in 2 places right now, but I'm still bartending. But I think that there are things that I have going on right now, but ultimately that's not important to me with this story, because what the healing that was supposed to happen happened. What's happened since then, I'd love for them to heal, but again, they're
Can I ask you a question? How this
Sure.
period of healing, was it 18 months, 2 years? 18
So
months, 2 years.
the initial healing.
Sorry to interrupt. And then after it happened, were all your health problems gone at that point in time at the end of it?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Talk about that.
Yeah, all of my health issues were gone. It took about
Diabetes
anywhere
too,
from
right?
3 months. Took about 3 months to 2 years to be fully completely healed.
Why
I
3
do
months to
believe
2
that
years?
if
Why? That's
I
very
do,
big.
well, the first 3 months handled the very chronic issues, the severe pain, the severe trauma, the severe PTSD, anxiety, and depression, all that stuff. Um, and they fixed my body where I wasn't dislocating anything. I wasn't, so the severe healing happened in the first 3 months. After that, it was almost like they were cleaning stuff up, where they were still hitting me with the frequency, but it was like I wasn't having hands-on healing, like they weren't working on my body in the sense of, you know, um, where I would have to lay on my stomach or I would have to do this and they would work on me and I could feel them working on me. It wasn't like that. It was like, after that 3 months, it was more like I was just being hit by the frequency that was still healing me. It just wasn't doing what the initial healing did. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. And then could you tell us a little bit what it felt like for them to do these lasers in your eye to get your eyes, and what this frequency felt like in detail? Could you explain that?
Yeah, I mean, what I imagine it felt like was when somebody gets LASIK eye surgery. Very similar. I was holding my eyes open. It literally felt like it wasn't so painful, excuse me, that I was, saying ouch, or it was like everything I went through, which I believe that it was like they were doing surgery on me on different parts of my body without cutting me. That's what it felt like. I very much could feel underneath the skin, things happening. But they weren't cutting my skin. And so even at the time, I'm thinking to myself, how is this even possible? But I could feel it. I could feel them working in my back. My back probably was the worst pain when they were dealing with that. But I think probably the worst pain was when the frequency first hit me, because I didn't know what was going on and I was in fear that I was being attacked. And so that was definitely painful, but not so painful that I was screaming out in pain. I was just like, what is happening? And then also when they worked on my back, that was definitely the most
When they
painful.
first hit you with the beam, what happened before that? Do you see anything before that, or that first hit by the beam? You believe this is MedBed technology? Would you just keep beam before that? Remember what happened before you got
Only that
first time?
Yeah, only that first night where they knocked on my door and I started
Okay.
looking out the camera. That was the first night that I saw anything outside my house. And that was before the frequency hit me. The frequency didn't hit me until the next day. And then I think it was almost a week later that the neurologist contacted me and said, "How does your back feel?" So, yeah.
Randy, this is one of the most amazing stories I've ever heard.
Oh,
There's
thank
got to be a
you.
movie about this. This is wild. And you have so much, Randy. That's a thing. So many screenshots. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Last live stream, peak viewers was 14. You have 67 people viewing right now at peak.
Yay.
So people are very interested in your story, Randy. Your story is getting out. There's a lot of interest. I'm going to stay for. If you have any more questions, Bob Larson has. I'll stop talking. I'd like you to wrap it up, Randy. That's okay. Share anything else you want to do. Tell us, what your main message information is here. Wrap it up. I'll stop talking. And next Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern, we'll do another show with good audio. I promise the audio will be fixed next time. But go ahead, Randy, wrap it up for us.
Yeah, no, I just want to thank you all. Yes, let me really quick answer your question, Bob. I was diagnosed with diabetes. I didn't mention that, but that was one. Diabetes, high cholesterol. Those were two other things that I was diagnosed with that were fixed. I will say that I did take a little bit of control with my diet. So I believe, yes, the frequency helped me with this, but and maybe it helped raise my frequency where I was able to easily change my diet, and I didn't have any issues doing that. I stopped eating things that I knew were bad for me. Excuse me. This cough is horrible right now, but also, and so I kind of talk about that more in the book about what I did, how I had severe acid reflux and what I did. But it was almost like I was just being led through these things, maybe because my frequency was being raised and I just knew what to do. I don't know, but I was, I went completely alkaline for a little while with my diet, which changed my acid reflux forever.
Mhm.
The diabetes was gone. So yeah, there were so many things that I had going on, and there's so many that sometimes I forget some of them. And so thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah,
because I hadn't
think it was
mentioned
like
in
10
this.
total things. 10 total things that were healed.
Yeah, there was a whole lot. And again, not that I do believe that there are things that you need to take control of as well. I think people want a magic pill and they just want to be able to be healed. I think that you've got to also do a little bit of, working for yourself and knowing that, there are things that you've got to take care of yourself, or to almost not to take care of yourself, but to almost complement the healing that you're being given,
Absolutely.
So, and again, people have thought, oh, you went through this amazing healing and, you're perfect now. Like I'm supposed to be some perfect human. I'm not a perfect human. I'm a human. We all make mistakes. We all do things that maybe sometimes aren't as healthy for ourselves. Even after my amazing healing, give yourself some grace. When this technology comes out and you get healed, do not believe that you have to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. So let's just throw that out the window right now. But I saw a comment and I didn't get to read it. It was something about physical therapy.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I wanted one more question for you before we wrap this up.
Yeah, I was in physical therapy for many months. And honestly, I still do my physical therapy exercises. Not right now because my back, but once that's healed, I will continue to do my physical therapy. I will tell you, I knew that my physical therapist knew about this, and she was amazing. She was a specialist physical therapist with for Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and so she helped me tremendously. Love the physical therapy field. Love them.
Now, could you finish the powerful story of the light that God didn't into that you had, and then we'll end the live stream. But that's something you haven't talked about yet, and it's one of the most beautiful parts of this whole story. Could you talk about that story real quick?
Yeah, I was taken up the second time, and I saw a big tree and a doorway, and I just knew to push the door open, and all of a sudden it was the most beautiful light I've ever felt and seen, that I've ever seen in my life. And I immediately just felt waves and waves of love, and it was like a warm, bright, I could barely hold my eyes open light. And as I'm sitting there just feeling the love, I heard a voice, and it said, "Brandy, you're going to heal." Um, the rest of the conversation I did put in my book. It's pretty, I didn't put the whole conversation because some of it was very personal to my family, and so I didn't want to put that in there. But it's pretty amazing and a little controversial in that part as well, because anytime you start talking about God and some things that he says to you, people start getting all, worked up about it. But I'm just speaking my truth about what I was told, and that's all I can do. So it was amazing, though. It was honestly the most amazing part of my whole healing.
You say this is cool. This whole experience has been one of the exciting things that have happened in your whole life.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that right there, I mean, just being able to say I met God is something that I never thought that I would be able to say. And so some people are like, well, where's God in this story? God was throughout the whole story. God, I believe, made this happen. Also probably helped me go through all the things in my life that I went through to prepare me to have the resilience to be able to come out with this story. So yeah, God's all throughout it. And I'm super grateful and thankful and blessed.
Absolutely. Thank you for bearing with me at the horrible audio. Next Saturday, 1 p.m. We'll do it again with good audio. God bless you, Brandy.
Oh, thank you. God bless you,
helping
Peter.
people. You're giving people hope. I had so much fun with this live stream. I'm so glad we can do another one. And 60, almost 70 viewers at its peak. People want to hear your story, Brandy. And you have, again, one of the most exciting paranormal stories ever. I hope you get on Joe Rogan. I hope you get on the Files. Everyone's going to love this story. If my audience loves this story this much, the world will love this story as well.
Yeah,
Thank you,
maybe
Brandy,
we can do
very much.
Maybe we can do a live stream one time where I'm not so tired and have bags under my eyes.
Next Saturday with earphones,
no,
headphones.
I work Friday night, so there will be bags.
Yeah, and you'll have headphones because that was the audio issue.
Yeah.
Earphones, headphones,
sure.
anything.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Brandy.
No problem.
This was a
Thank
great
you, Peter.
show. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Appreciate it. Have a wonderful day. God bless. Peace out. Bye.
Bye.